And it took me like a long time to like kind of hammer out a list, but I feel like this list looks like very, very, very clean. The idea, like, we've done this a couple of different times of playing Ring in a Shell where the goal is to just draw a ton of cards and just blast them with all your cards. Putting actual factual Shrapnel Blast has been like a pretty significant challenge. But like after cutting the synthesizers and cutting the gleeful demolitions, I think I kind of like got the list where I'm liking it. Really like specifically cutting gleeful demolition for Fable was like what put this list over the edge for me to make it to the stream, because I was like so stuck on the fact that gleeful demolition could target your ring to get 3/1/1s, but it was just like so slow, and so like, and Fable's like so much better on the curve, I think. Play Improvised Club. Club is like I'm not even playing 4 Shrapnel Blasts. Why would I play any number of Improvised Club over, like, you know, another one here? Sounds exactly what happened in a trophy race. Yeah, at least a trophy race you have something on the line. Is there any game or sport where the highest level of competition is also the most fun to play? No, but most games in sports don't have like the degree of variance that Magic does, you know? Why is Star better than Synthesizer? Well, it's mostly that Synthesizer is like... So Star is better than Synthesizer because it's a Urza Saga target, 1. And 2, like, you just cannot play Synthesizer in a deck with Ring. It's so you can't play 4 drops of Synthesizer, period. Alright, I guess I need to get the stream title updated too. Okay, Gadwig's First Duel. Create a curse roll token attached to 1 creature, so you turn a creature into a 1/1. Then you scry 2. Whenever you cast your next insert a sorcery with mana value 3 or less this turn, copy it. I don't hate that card. It's probably a little slow. I really wish we saw more read-ahead sagas. Read-ahead was such a sweet mechanic. I kind of thought that it would like be like potentially even evergreen for. I'll keep that on top. I thought that it might even be like close to evergreen for sagas. Like you would just see some sagas with read ahead and some without, and I'm disappointed we haven't seen more. Uh-oh. Okay, so we can get Delirium on our Channeler with our Epicure if we discard the Ragavan. I can also dash Ragavan, except... Yeah, I guess let's just dash the Ragavan. I have some cards that can hit that make this fine. If they Bowmaster my Channeler, I think it ends up being okay. Saga can maybe take over the game. I have the treasure token making the Saga token big enough to block the thing. Can also just slam the ring, although slamming the ring is a little bit worse against them having the Bowmaster. Okay, I haven't seen this. Is last spoiler card for now. Whenever you attack with 1 or more fairies, draw a card, then discard a card. When you discard a card this way, put a counter on target fairy you control. Okay, not quite there, I think. Interesting that they let me untap here. Could have gone Epic or Loot Saga for Delirium. Yeah, but Saga's just so good game 1 against Scam. Like, and I also like I want the Epicure token to make my Saga tokens bigger. It'd be too much to ask for just a pushed fairy or 2. Maybe we'll still get 1. And the thing is, like, the only good fairy card is Spellstutter Sprite. Like, Bedwasm isn't good. Maybe we should just ban all the Undying effects instead of banning Grief. The Looters is pretty good too. What card is the Looters? Okay, so if I block Bowmaster and they have a second Bowmaster, am I happy with that exchange? Yeah, I think so. With the ring in my hand, I really want to get the Bowmasters off the field, and so it seems like a fine exchange. I can also Pyrite Spellbomb the other one. Did I see the Fairy Tribal Thoughtseize? I have not. Okay, they missed a point of damage also by not doing this pre. Yeah, I remember when people were going so crazy for Halo Forager. And I guess we just abandoned the token plan. So I can go Spellbomb and then just get the ring going. Yeah, if the Fairy Thoughts uses like 1 mana, like discard any card if you have a fairy in play, it's not going to be good, y'all. If that's the card, it's like one mana, like conditional discard, unconditional. But if you have a fairy unconditional discard, it's not going to be good. Target player reveals their hand, choose a non-land card from it, and the player discards that card. Then exile a card from your hand if you don't control a fairy. Yeah, that's even worse. Unplayable. In Modern, at least, you know. My opponent has persisted their Orcish Bowmasters. They, maybe will rethink that combo in the future. Maybe they meant to target Grief. Either way, I have protection, though. Still have protection. Someone yesterday was like, you can persist Orcish Bowmaster. And I guess they were right. So I guess I want to dash off the Saga mana. It says big brain. Yeah, it's Legacy Brain, I think. If you could reveal a fairy, yeah, if you could reveal a fairy from your hand, that card would be better. But also, like, it wouldn't really be much of a modern card. Like, I'm not. Maybe it would be. Maybe it actually would be. Yeah, being able to reveal from your hand, that might have been what it needed. You still need good fairies, yeah, of course. Like that's the biggest problem with the fairies archetype is there's only one good fairy. It's the same thing rats have. There's one good rat, and there's one good fairy, and so like maybe in 2029 we'll have have enough of these playable cards, but we're still just so far away. All right, that's 8 points of burn. What the new rats? There's one good new rat, the 3 mana one, and then there's a 2 mana one that's like, I guess we'll put it in the deck. So yeah, the good rat. The good rat is the Oh, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one that. It's the Goblin Ringleader. It's 3 mana. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. Put all rats in your hand. And it's also a 3/3, gives your things like Infect 1 or Poisonous 1. Yeah, and then like there's also Pack Rat, which is like a card you can put in your deck, and everyone will put in their deck, and I will also put in my deck, but it'll be like the worst card of the deck. Like, but you'll have to put it in. Probably just like -2 Ragavan, +2 Heat. Maybe -1 Blast, -1 Ragavan. Like if the Rat Ringleader was, if it was goblins, merfolk, or humans, it would be like an incredible card. That card is so crazy, but it can only be that crazy because rats aren't very good. This is a keeper mole, huh? On the draw? Let's keep. I can cast every single card in my hand. Although I wish I had bolts full of blast so I could bolt this Grief now. Def Maul. It's not a definitely Maul. It's close. And then again, this is a matchup too where you kind of have to, like, you gotta keep hands, you know what I mean? Oh, I can kill the Grief now. Well, they took a Galvanic Blast. Wow, I would not have done that. I would not play like this. I would have not. I can't imagine what their hand would be that you don't just take both bolts. It's okay. Look, we drew 2 lands. I wonder if they have Blood Moon in it. They probably have like at least 1 moon. Opponents out here trying to keep Grief legal in the format by just punting with it. Just doing some lobbying. It's kind of how Eldrazi's were. They had 2 really good cards, but no supporting creatures, and then Oath provided all of them. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, we just need an Eye of Ugin for rats. Honestly, even if it's like broken and ruins the format, that would be just sick to have rats be the best deck in the format. They all cost 0 mana, just like a bubonic plague of rats. Just get Drum here. And if my opponent removes something here, I think I just want to Galvanic Blast them. Well, I know I have Metalcraft. I mean, obviously, I could remove the other one in response, but we're not really doing that good against that anyways. Yeah. Maybe that attitude's not great. I don't know. I also don't have Bomat Courier in this build. Yeah, Swarm Yard is pretty cool. Swarm Yard is like another good rat tribal payoff. Ragavan. The flavor text is, it's just Ragavan, but it's a rat. And it's black. Is Bomat considerable of Epicure? I mean, so like you mostly just want Bomat as like a potential Saga target. I thought that with the Ring, that it's just like you just can't play Bomat with like the Ring in your deck. Like there's a lot of cards that we have played in this archetype in the past that I just don't think you can play or want to play because of mana curve considerations. So can't make another token. I think I'll just Chromatic Star. I could also gotten Bauble maybe. So get a little bit of selection with the fetch land, but I can also play whatever I draw now, or some things that I draw now, like Ragavan. So let's just bolt first. Make sure they don't have another Undying card. Emblem of Combustion may be a better choice than Star. It's not. Just like you saw here, the mana is much better than the damage. And this is usually going to be the case, that the mana is better than the damage. People, 21 months, thank you. And, you know, it's not this extreme, but like kind of imagine a card that is 0 mana, deal 1 damage to your opponent. That's the whole thing. Like, that card is not any good, but Lotus Petal, 0 mana, make 1 mana, is a very, very good card. Obviously, it's very different, but sometimes, like, understanding concepts becomes easier if you can just, like, visualize an extreme example of it, if that makes sense. Yeah, we played a version of this deck with Rin and 6, but we weren't able to play all the burn. Yeah, I could feel the Bowmaster coming. Got shot though? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess maybe 0 mana 1 damage would be really good. But also Gut Shot is good because it like just is a 0 mana spell. Not because it like does something super impactful. Yeah, Implement of Combustion also doesn't deal damage to creatures. Yeah, but maybe that example is not very good just because 0 mana spells are broken. I like the first copy of Key. I've played Key in these decks in the past, and I was initially really high on it. And ended up not liking it very much. The more I played with it, it just was like a little too win more. But I had the same attitude at first. I have played it a decent amount of it. What does this attack mean? Does it mean double Undying effect? I don't know. I'm going to block the Bowmaster. Let's find out. Unholy Heat, yeah, I could be, but like I've like basically never seen Heat in Scam. They probably want to skim the Bowmaster, yeah, but it doesn't make sense because I have like the onboard Pyrite Spellbomb, you know. So I think I'm gonna draw a card. If they have another Bowmaster, I can use the Treasure and Heat. Bluff, yeah, I guess, but like to some extent, like. Your bluffs have to make sense. Like you can't bluff like that and like just there's like no card that like your bluff actually that you're bluffing. Like in this spot, I think my opponent's mostly bluffing nothing. But yeah, that might have been the attitude. In which spot like you just call the bluffs. Oh yeah, Kolaghan's Command. Yeah, it could have been Kolaghan's Command. That was a card I missed. Bluffing a way to remove Delirium. Yeah, like a Nile Spellbomb. Yeah. Surprised they took Heat over Gigantha, too. Because they have 2 Heats. Maybe they have another creature in their hand. If I draw a land, I'm just going to slam Gigantha and use Gigantha to drum this. I think I'll just main phase this, play around a dying card. Don't hate drawing Epicure. I can loot Gigantha away if I want to. It puts my opponent to 1, which means another Epicure is lethal. They can't crack a fetch. Yeah, I think there's like a big enough chance that they go like fetch land Fury. Like keeping Epicure on top is fine. They're dead, right? Cool. Cool match. Yeah, one time I was playing a GP, back when GPs were a thing. I was like 7-2 or something. It was day 2. No, I think it was... Yeah, it was 8-2. It was day 2. I was playing against John. My opponent was like at 4 life. I had a Celestial Colonnade in play. They really got me. That's okay, Thoughtbot. We all make mistakes. We all learn. I'll keep it Epicure. What did they do? They slaughter packed in my Celestial Colonnade. They tapped out, and I didn't realize that I could play around Slaughter Pact. It was a hard card to play around. But like I like it was weird because I knew the deal about my Colonnade. Wow, let's go, dude. Oh yeah, I was just reminiscing about a GP match. Thoughtbot. Yeah, this deck's pretty sick. I've been trying to get this deck together for like a month or something, and I finally like. It was really hard for me to cut the Gleeful Demolitions, but I think it was correct. And that's why I hate Colonnade. You know, as someone who shit talks Colonnade as much as I do, I'm also someone that's like I've bought Celestial Colonnades for $40 each twice. I bought them for $40 each, sold them, bought them again. For $40 each both times. I mean, my hand is really good. I think I'm actual discard nothing here. Maybe discard the Ragavan. Yeah, no, I need to start blasting and stuff. The Ragavan is also so good here, though. Maybe I have too much burn. I have... Yeah, I guess I can put back the... Blast, and then I have... I guess I just have lethal if I can put like Blast Ragavan. I just have lethal with Epicure, Bolt, Double Blast. I can still even kill the... Yeah, okay. I just want like a land. Oops, sorry. Want to sack the... I guess sacking the treasure token's a bit better, actually. I have plenty of mana now. What's the science of fetches in an only basic mountain deck? We have Mishra's Bauble, and we have Dragoridge's Channeler. We have an Unholy Heat in the sideboard, so we want fetches. I bought and sold decks ad nauseum before Borrowers' Eastern decks cost 100, harder they cost 500. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thankfully, I eventually like had like a good enough network of friends to borrow cards from, but it was tough for sure. That was one of like the hardest Fable loots I've ever had. Do they get reflection? No, it's worded kind of weird. It says return to the battlefield under your control. A lot of times these effects say return to the battlefield under their owner's control. Probably overthinking by not just immediately. Okay, yeah. Somewhat. Let's think of the 7 months. We're doing well. Glad you liking the YouTube. And before we win all games, we don't cast the ring, and lose all games, we cast the ring. I mean, we've already won at least one game, we cast the ring. Okay, so we're up against Omnath. Probably going to be close to no changes here. The Heats are pretty good in this matchup, though. I think we'll be... And I can also bring in Needle over Pyrite Spellbomb. Mostly to name Red and 6. Which is maybe not exactly the axis you want to fight on. Do you watch Read Boruto? No, I've never really been interested in Boruto. Just like, I was pretty happy with the ending of Naruto. The fact that the original author is not the one that wrote Boruto too, it just makes me not that interested. The show is also called Boruto, and I don't know if it's like a translation thing or like a cultural thing to name your child your name with a different letter, but boy is that a dumb title, I think. I perceive it to be the dumbest name of a character or series, maybe of all time. Maybe of all time. They brought Kishimoto back. Oh, I didn't know they brought him back, but yeah. Somewhat the 7 months. Thank you. Thought about the 4 CPT with tier 1 for 3 months in advance. Let's go. Like, I don't think that that's a Japanese thing to just name your kid your name with a different letter. It honestly, I say this with like peace and love too, and like as someone who really likes Naruto. The idea of like a sequel series called Boruto, where most of the characters are just like kind of like clones of the original characters, but they're their like child, and they like have like the same plot line over and over again, and everybody, they all get married and they all kiss. It really sounds like middle school fan fiction. Like the whole concept of Boruto, more or less to me, just kind of sounds like fan fiction. And not great fan fiction at that. That's okay. Fanfiction sells? Yeah, sure. I like it. They seem to be doing alright. I wish them nothing but the best. As a big Naruto fan. Any changes to Anvil Tron ring list? Not since I played it like a day ago. I think I'm gonna cast the Halfling. Not 100% sure, but it makes my rings uncounterable. And it's kind of like having a treasure that stays around, although it does make my construct smaller. Yeah, I just spit it that they stole my fanfic ideas. It's not a Japanese thing; it's a marketing thing. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But like, I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% sure that it's not something that other cultures do. You know what I mean? I'm not 100% sure that it's not like just someone normal. Like I could name my child, you know, Perspiring Mike, and okay. This line was bad against Teferi. Alright, well, we need some artifacts. Fuller House, Girl Meets Word, Say Blah Blah. Sure. Man, I have not Shinka'd in a long time. It's been a long time since I've Shinka'd anybody. Boshin with the gifted sub to Perspiring Mike. Yeah, I knew those are actual in chat username. Korra? I mean, Korra's not the same. Korra's like a unique name. It's just a sequel show. Alright, gonna be tough to win this one. Yeah, Rockley's child is named Metal, which is, I don't know, it's okay. And anime is like a long series of having like the pun names. Like Dragon Ball Z is like really notorious for it. Kinda don't hate this draw. Problem is it's not enough, of course. But we'll keep playing. I have to blast the Teferi too, I think. Which feels awful, of course. I can keep that's not a bad one. Boruto is an unambiguously stupid name, but it's just struck me as that kind of stupid Naruto would name his child. Yeah, I think that is a fine argument. Listen, if you like Boruto, I'm super happy for you, to be honest. I would love to like Boruto. I'm thrilled for you. Should I have double blocked? I guess I should have double blocked. Okay, so now we have to throw this here. Keep it. Okay, game 3. What do you think of the Rakdos randomer list? You looked it for someone on Twitter. I mean, I like it. I like it. I think that it's fine. We played something kind of similar to it before Lord of the Rings came out, and we usually did pretty well with it. I wanted to play, I had the Footsteps of the Goryo tech. This was pre-Lord of the Rings, before the Troll. But I always thought Footsteps of the Goryo was really cool in the Rescamator archetype, because it just worked really well with your scam cards. And, it's also not that bad, just, Footsteps of Fury sometimes. And so I'm kind of surprised, none of the Rescamator lists that are running around are playing Footsteps, I think. But, it's kind of tentatively on my list to play it again with Footsteps, but I'm not necessarily the most excited about that either. Yeah, I'm just gonna bolt them, hope to get Delirium. Ding ding ding. I'll keep another burn spell, I think. What, in my opinion, is the best Asmo deck? I don't know. I kind of went through a big Asmo phase my entire life, for I don't know, for a long time. And I think right now, if I wanted to play an Asmo deck, I would be playing Asmo Gorios with Preordain, but I don't know what the best is. It's been a long journey. Oh, we lose. 2 mana. Win the game. That's pretty good. That is a pretty good effect. I guess I could draw an Urza Saga. Could have brought in my Smash to Smithereens. It's so hard to beat Chalice of the Void in the leagues, though. Like, I don't know. You still don't know how many they have. How do you feel about free cost spells and deck running Arcanist? It's just not a good plan. It's something people have tried many times and has never been a good plan. Just too fragile and like worse than just playing a Cascade deck. Garbage time? I mean, maybe. Like if I can get my opponent down, like if I hit them for one more time with this Channeler and they crack the fetch, I can draw a Mishra's Bauble to kill them with the Shrapnel Blast. They also like don't seem like they can answer the Channeler. Why not cast the spells? I should be casting the spells to surveil him. Alright, so we're looking for Mishra's Bauble, but we'll keep a land. Not as good as Saga, but... See Mingu 10-1 fish. Mingu has been crushing it lately. Just winning with everything. If we hit them with this, it's a big deal. What is happening? Do they have 1-drops in their hand? I can't believe it. So if we can attack with our Shaman, we win. Although I guess they have to kill it too, right? Stupid Omnath. Oh, I hate Omnath. Although they do have to have something else. Can they just fetch again? Will they die if they have nothing else? Because they fetch in response, they go to... They go to 9, and then they go... Or so they go to 8, and then they go to 3, and then they die to my Channeler. Demoralizing. Sad loss. Wish thank you for 31. Welcome back. Can you do a Shrapnel response on the trigger for life? Rather than before the land comes in. No, because they gain life based on the number of times it's resolved, not the number of times it goes on the stack. Okay, dead monkey. Let's play Fable next turn instead of making a Saga token, I think. I'll keep the extra land too, we have Ring in our hand. Maybe even good to play Fable off the mountain, then go Saga, Ring on turn 4. Dismember. My opponent is at 9 life. What a combo. Death Shadow plus Dismember. Good deck building. Tutor's the 17th month. Good to hear from you, buddy. Welcome back. Thank you, thank you. One's confidently going to 4 with a Pyrite Spellbomb in play. They've got Ragavan, Lightning Bolt, Shrapnel Blast, Galvanic Blast. And Ring ain't that bad either. You know, they have to resolve with something now. Cool game. Fast game. I always like when games are like interesting and fast. It's the perfect combination. Okay, 2 top or 0 top 2 bottom. Also nice that even if they have a counter, we like at least have now 2 blockers. They're dead if they Bowmaster, right? Like, what can they have? It's like, we beat Spell Pierce really hard. Cool. It's kind of what it's all about, like good, fast, interesting games. I love that game. Don't think I'm sideboarding very much. Our plan of just like lots of burn plus the ring seems great against them actually. Let's just run it back. What's the 8th blast of the deck? Okay, there's not one. It's just like, it's just the better title if it's 8 blast. It's the same archetype, just with 1 less blast. The 8th blast is in our heart. It's on the bench. The blast you have playing it. Like, the archetype is 8 blast. You know what I mean? Speed on the ring and burn. You have to play it in this kind of build, I think. Yeah, I don't think you want to play it in a more traditional burn list. It was supposed to be like really hot today. Maybe it's still going to be hot today. It's supposed to be a high of 107, but it's only 94 outside. Let me check the forecast. Yeah, it still says high of 107. I guess the heat wave is coming in like 2 hours. Only 94. It was 90. It was a high of 94 yesterday and the day before. And me and Esther were like really happy. That's a good day. That's a really cool summer day for us. Yeah, brisk 94 degrees. 1 calibrated blaster flavor. 94 not being hot. I mean, it's not cold, but it's a big difference between 94 and 107. For non-Americans, it's 53 a.m. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's like, it's not like not hot in Europe. I was over there for a while. It's like, it would get up to like 40 degrees Celsius. But I enjoyed the weather in Europe a lot, especially London where it was like really cold and shitty. I loved that. The Europeans were mostly like, this is a horrible heat wave, this is terrible, and I was really enjoying the weather. What else? That would be 41 Celsius? Okay, maybe I miss remembering how Celsius works. I thought that like 80 degrees Fahrenheit was like 40 Celsius. But maybe that's sounds off then. Spikes Daily England dunk? No, okay, listen, I love dunking on England, but I genuinely, sincerely, without any caps, I loved the cold, rainy, shitty weather. I loved it. I would love if I could live somewhere that was cold and rainy and shitty all the time. I, as someone who's grown up in Texas and lived in Texas for my whole life, I would love to live in a place like that. I thought it was awesome. You're so ignorant. What the fuck? How is me expressing my opinion on the weather ignorant? Or is it like just not knowing Fahrenheit Seattle? I don't know. This is like I think most people don't have Fahrenheit Celsius conversions memorized. I think I play this to play around Drown. Obviously, being able to channel is kind of nice. But they do probably play Drown. Yeah, just chatting. Yeah, I hear Seattle's really not that rainy, but it probably is like the most London-like weather that we have. We're pretty close. Isn't that really shitty? I know I'm calling the weather shitty, and I know that sounds like a bad thing. For me, I love the I don't think there's another way to describe the weather in a more accurate way, but I don't mean it in a bad way at all. I mean it in a really good way. it's hard to explain like why that's a good thing maybe, but I think it's a good thing. Okay, I want to be burning them here if possible. I'll just do Gantha in hand. Dreary, yeah, I mean, dreary is probably the correct word, huh? Yeah, we have not set a date for the wedding. Probably will not set one for a little while. Yeah, dreary I think is the word. Yeah, gonna be a close one. You kind of want to thin a little bit. Usually doesn't matter very much, right? We can currently beat... If they have nothing, we're winning. Wow, no attack with the shadow is surprising. I probably should not be popping the split token with the orc in play. But yeah, we're playing fetch lands because we have Channeler, Mishra's Bauble, and Heat. I'm doing well, Pro. Thank you. Our fetch is worth it for deck thinking. Yeah, we're not playing it for thinning. So one, it's a land that goes to the graveyard for Channeler. That's really important. Two, I think I bolt first. Two, if you have a mountain and if you have a fetch land and a Mishra's Bauble, okay, you have both of these. You have both of these in your hand, and you want to play something on turn one. What you can do is you can play Bauble, look at the top card of your library with Mishra's Bauble, and then if it's a card you want to draw, you play the Mountain, and then go draw it next turn. But if it's a card you don't want to draw, you'll play your fetch land and then shuffle the top card away. And so if you have Mishra's Bauble, you want to play some fetches for that card selection ability. So they have a stub. They're dead to the Channeler. Will I be streaming the wedding? Literally just asking. I'm not currently planning on it. I'll probably post a picture or two. I'm not glad to see you mismatch basics as I don't know. For the backup decks, for the main deck, I usually like to curate the art a little bit. It's harder for the backup decks. When's the wedding? We haven't picked a date. Channel point reward for wedding invite. The problem is that it'll immediately get snatched up. I guess we don't want to pop this yet because we could draw Shrapnel Blast for turn. But if we brick, then we probably pop it. Yeah, let's pop it. Actually, a pretty good draw. I also kind of like attacking. Attacking loses to fetch land plus removal spell. Oh no, it doesn't because they have to block. Yeah, blocking seems good. Attacking seems good. Have the mods invited? I don't know. I have no idea how big it's going to be actually. Because like I have a lot of people. Maybe I should have cast this first. No, even then, even the counter, I'm still attacking. Oh, oops. I have a lot of people I want to invite. I think Esther has less people she wants to invite. Do we lose to anything? We lose to triple bowmaster, which I can't have. Do I still have Pyrite Spellbomb in my deck? I do. So I guess this game is now just about surviving for one turn. Am I excited? Yeah, I'm excited. I know it's very far off. Esther has said like tentatively like fall 2025. Esther's mom is pushing for spring 2024. We may end up fall 2024. I think Esther's mom's even pushing for like fall 2023. Spring 24 is too soon. Yeah, it's definitely too soon. Esther's mom is just like, you don't need to have a wedding. I don't know. She's like, just do it. Just get married. I am going to Atlanta. Yeah, I'm qualified. I need to start playing the San Diego qualifiers too once they start firing. Just next month, right? Our wedding planner. I haven't seen a basic plains in a while. I guess the 4-color Omnath player had one. I guess they could go a Swamp Bowmaster, just crack on our turn. Sarah with the 28 months, thank you. Paradise Mantle. Is Mantle like stock in Hammer again? I feel like people like, I don't really understand the science of how like stock lists come to be. Is it just like whatever is the most popular in Goldfish? Is it like a Discord community conversation usually? It's very interesting how like for a long time it felt like no one played the Mantle, and now it feels like every time I play against Hammer they have the Mantle. Is it just disgruntled Elk? Like Will Kruger? They just popularize everything? I think it's very interesting. Love to see an updated Rin 6 version deck. There is a Rin 6 version of this deck. You can scroll back. We played it actually pretty early into our One Ring. It was like one of the first ring decks I ever played. And I just wanted to play... the whole time I was working on that version, I wanted to play a Shrapnel Blast in the deck too. I think with Rin 6, it's incredibly difficult to fit Shrapnel Blast in, and so I was having a very hard time doing just a mono red build with Shrapnel Blast, and it's finally here, and that's what this is. But the Rin 6 build was also felt pretty good, and it was more of a mid-rangey deck. This one it feels a little bit more focused, maybe. Oftentimes the best result in the most recent tournament. Yeah, I think so too. But it is a little bit more than that too, to some extent. I think it's interesting. Uh-oh. I guess we just lose. What did Red 6 do for deck? Like getting up to 4 mana and recurring Urza Saga was pretty good. So we're looking for another ring. Can we ever beat our opponent hitting us for 13? Well, can't beat them hitting us for 23. Okay, so we're gonna bring in the Smash the Smithereens, the Moons, the Pyrite Spellbombs, the extra Pyrite Spellbombs. I don't think we're bringing in Needle. Could bring in Needle. I do hate Fable against Hammer. Got the Fables. I got the Shrapnel Blast too. Don't know. We could bring in Heat. Kind of feels weird to not have all the burn. Maybe we go like -2 Epicure +2 Heat. I think you played Ring 1 turn too soon. Yeah, maybe. I definitely ended the game thinking like I might have. Also, I'm kind of used to just slamming it as soon as I can against Hammer, but I think that maybe makes sense in other decks more. Is Brothers Hidden worth it for the sideboard against Hammer? I kind of want to play Smash to Smithereens instead, because like this card is good against Hammer, but is also good against Chalice. But the thing about it's really hard to sideboard against Chalice of the Void in leagues, because like you're just not sure like which players have it sometimes, and like how many copies they have. What do you think about the Ring so far in the deck? I like it. I think that it's good in the deck, and yeah, I guess I don't know if there's anything else there actually. I like it. Oh no, sorry. Ugh. I wish you should have played that. That's bad. I really don't want to have to play... Oh, they got Cauldra. That's also bad. Okay. Draw a card. Draw 2 cards. Guess we pay... Look at my top card. I guess I'm just going to put the Hammer on the Cauldra, which I can't really beat. Play Alpine. Well, if I put Alpine, I guess if I put Alpine Moon, yeah, if I play Alpine and they don't have a land, they have it. That's probably a good plan actually, because they've been missing land drops. But if they had not been missing land drops, I don't think playing Alpine Moon is a great plan. Ready for fall weather, modern RCQs. Hell yeah. Interrogating 9 months. Thank you. Yeah. Can I speak on why or why not Prudent Can should be in Hammer? It should be in Hammer right now because like, let's just play test the new cards. I'm just like always kind of in favor of playing the new cards and seeing how they perform. As far as like, should it be in the deck overall, I also can't really speak to because I haven't tried it yet, and I know some people like it. I haven't really heard anybody say it's like particularly bad, but I've been casting a lot of Preordain. Preordain is a good card. It is a card that I like to register. If you don't like your hand, you can mulligan. This hand's worse. This hand's a lot worse. Okay. 3 hands. All of them 1-landers with Ragavan. This somehow was the best one, though. I think I just keep Backup Monkey. How did Kruger do? We went 1-2 drop. Didn't actually Kruger very often. I think that if I was going to play the deck again, I'd maybe go back with the Preordained version. But either way, wasn't loving it. But Grixis Murktide splashing for Bowmaster, I mean, it doesn't seem terrible, doesn't seem exciting. Any plan to revisit Calibrated Blast, that way basic land, splashing blue? Yeah, I've played, like, the deck is good, like, the troll is really good in the Calibrated Blast deck. We played, like, a league of it pre me leaving for Europe. It's cool that you can tutor for Cottage, and it's something good to put on top, too. It's not something I'm super excited about. I was splashing blue in that list, though, and I also do think that I could become excited to play Preordain in that deck also. Preordain is a card I would maybe want to play there. I think I was also playing Sauron's Ransom. I mean, I want to play the Ring. Not amazing against the Bowmaster. Bowmaster's so good, dude. The Dimir deck also, I think, got a lot better with the Preordain unban. Dalton to 51 months? What's the relationship between Preordain, Ragavan, and Prismatic Ending? They're... Is this like a setup for a joke? I don't know what. Probably worth making a copy of Scalding? Maybe. I think Snare over Scalding. The thing about Merc that's interesting is that it's kind of winning against Rakdos, so that's a very hard matchup. Is it? I can see that it might be. I'll concede to another Bowmaster. I can play against an Edict. I think that it's not terrible against Rakdos. The matchup, I think, historically has been very close. It does seem like Scam players are pretty hesitant to like ever cut like the 3 Terminates from the 75. And like, why would they? It's like it's a black and red removal spell that like pitches to both of their cards. It's really good. Like it's like, to me, that matchup is like very often correlated to how many Terminates are in the Scam players' decks before, but now it's also that. Are they playing Grief? %. 90% confidence intervals on the win rates. What does that mean? 90% confidence intervals. I did not graduate college. Can bring a needle. I guess sorry, no, sorry, don't want a needle. We have our own rings. I do want the heats for their shield grid. Produce -2 blast against the counterspell deck. Go to the matchup grid. Yeah, I just want to know what that means, you know. Yeah, I love these grids though. Okay, so creativity versus scam, or Murktide versus scam. 39.3%. Okay. Sounds, unfortunately, that actually sounds way lower than I would have expected. Yeah, scam, that's also like a lower number against Omnath than I would have expected. %90 chance that the true win rate is within that range. Yeah, I guess it's just interesting to me, like how is that determined? There's a variance when you do testing, so confidence intervals estimate range 9% means okay, that's interesting. Okay, burn also being favored against scam is something that I wouldn't expect either. I thought that scam was typically pretty good against burn. Yeah, they still have 4 sanctifiers. So burn is bad against rhinos, incredible against Tron, bad against Murktide, very bad against Murktide. Incredibly bad against Hammer. 13.7 against Hammer. Holy shit. Out of how many matches? 51. Still. Anything from this chart, like, unsurprisingly very good? Kind of scan for a lot of green. How is Burn considered tier 1? I mean, Burn is a very good deck, I think. Like it's really bad against Hammer. Hammer's not that popular, you know. It's bad against Murktide. Murktide has been not that popular recently. It's favored against Scam, favored against Tron, favored against Omnath, favored against Creativity for a while as a selling point. Scales is good against Rectus and Murktide. Yeah, Scales is pretty good deck. Okay, good against Scam. Very good against Scam. Incredibly good against Scam. Well, only 19 matches. Very small sample size. Yeah, the sample sizes here are really small. Like 2 matches, 7 matches. Not even like real data, to be honest. Okay, I mean, it's data, but it's like not nearly as significant as like the other decks. In fact, wait, this is between... I feel like a lot of these are maybe even mine from like I had at least one like really good run with Scales in a challenge. This some of these might be my matches too. Although maybe I can't remember what I was like 8-0 in the Swiss of a challenge or something with Scales. That may have been before that data point. Yeah, I think when that 8-0 run was maybe a little before or after. It was like the June 20th start date. It says paper matches. Oh, so I don't know. Paper data's weird. Paper's data's weird. I feel like for a long time even. I want to crack these baubles. Yeah, can someone link the chart again, and maybe we can shout out whoever it is. I can't remember. We just pass. Seen the spoiler for the scam buff? Yeah, not super exciting, but they'll see a lot of play. Still kind of surprised they're playing Grief. Not very often the most played deck also has the highest win rate. Yeah, does Scam have the highest win rate? I wouldn't be surprised. And I agree that is a pretty interesting data point. Am I just supposed to be blasting them? I have 10 points of burn. Yeah, I kind of am into this. I think I'd crack one Bauble. They're just dead if I draw another Galvanic Blast. It did, yeah. I mean, Scam is a really, really, really good deck. It's hard to overstate just how good the deck is. And I also think that that's a really good point too. That it is weird that we are seeing a metagame where the most played deck is actually like one of the best and like winning a lot. Like there was a really long time when Murktide was like easily the most played deck, like the most played deck by a lot. But the win percentage was just like not very good. Creativity was kind of like that though for a while. Creativity was the most played deck and had still a really high win rate. Maybe it wasn't the most played. Just like everyone knew it was good and didn't want to play it. Not sure. Yeah, I'm kind of confused why they have Grief in the deck. It's kind of interesting. Delver and Standard. That was a little bit before my time. But I know we have all the boomers here. So I'm going to heat this so I can try to lead away my Mire. It's okay if they fight over it. I mean, let's pay. Probably plays Persist. So do they play Persist plus Troll? And that's in like no scam card? Can someone like link a list? Because it's kind of interesting. To be fair, I think Merc was low because it was skill dependent. Yep, this is something I've always kind of disagreed with, this attitude that like Murktide is like such a difficult deck to play that its win percentage was artificially deflated. This is something that has never really seemed like it was very likely to be true. To me, at least, I kind of feel like Murktide is just not really a very difficult deck to play, or like not that extreme. Like every deck in Modern is difficult, but once you learn like the sequencing in Murktide, it's I don't know. Mostly plays 2 scam cards. I don't know. I'd like to say it's not hard, it's tough, but it's not like I'm not trying to shit talk the deck or anything, but it's I don't think it's so hard that like you just have the player base just punting and and throwing their win percentage in the trash. Yeah, it's just like a normal fair deck. For people complaining about Force and Subtlety being not good in Blue-Black Ring, maybe the scam package would be fine. Yeah, so Doomake was playing Troll and 2 scam cards. Honestly, like just like Persist plus Troll plus Grief sounds kind of interesting. Am I ever bolting a creature here? It's kind of tough. I think no. interesting draw. I like that I can cast all the cards in my hand. Infinite Bowmasters. Okay, Shoulder's Edict sacrifices a creature token. What makes Rhinos good against Burn? I always felt like the hard matchup. I mean, it's probably not as bad. Like this is kind of the thing about like these data graphs. Like they're really good. They're really good to like learn from, and like it's awesome that we have access to them. But the data is really not perfect. You know what I mean? It's like even if some of these matches are like 100 match sample size, that's still like small enough. I think that variance can like be pretty impactful to the data, like more impactful than you would really like. And it's a pretty interesting game. I think I'm still holding out to burn them. Just like the ring is just 4 mana fog here. Yeah, I don't know, you just have to take it with a grain of salt, but it's good data to look at. So this is Doom's List. Blue Black Shadow, 4 Persist, 4 Troll. So is that what we're playing against here? Kind of looks like it. No, Archmage's Charms though. Compared to this list, I like the look of this for sure. I wonder if it could be correct to play Archon over Death Shadow maybe, and to play like Tainted Indulgence. I guess you probably need a little bit more Graveyard Enabler. They kill your Fable, you can tap the ring at least. Well, they have double Bowmaster. I'm not really looking to tap the ring, I think. Yeah, we haven't seen a ring from our opponent yet. So this is 15 lands plus 1 Malakir Rebirth. I kind of hate Malakir Rebirth in like your preordained counterspell deck. I don't know. Okay, I kind of like just play Epicure here, then copy the Epicure with the ability to double bolt. Whilst turning the downside as they kill Fable. Oh, I see. Sure. Between Predain and Sar's Ransom, do you think Inverter Thoracle could be viable? Okay, yeah, so I've started to build that a couple times. I've started to build Inverter combo with Preordain. I hadn't had Sauron's Ransom. I did have like, I had like basically Ring over Ransom, of course, because I'm just, I'm the Ring guy, I guess. Am I dead if they have a counterspell? So I go Bolt, attack with everything. I double walk. I go to 1. They have counterspell plus removal spell. Blitz with the 11 months. Thank you. This is the most telegraphed double bolt of all time. I mean, it's okay if it's telegraphed if I'm, doing it, right? Dead to counterspell Bowmaster. Yeah, I'm dead to counterspell plus removal spell, but I think I'm okay with that. I can still sometimes draw a burn spell off this too. Any changes to band control from a few weeks ago? No, I haven't like that. That's a before Aspiring Spike. We're now living in the after. Okay, the inverted deck though. So I had like 4 talismans in basically all these drafts, and I think talisman looks awesome in that deck, where it talisman can talisman preordain, talisman push, talisman spell pierce, and then it also ramps you into your 4s, your inverters, and your rings. But the problem is like, why are we playing inverter? We could just play shielded instead of inverter, and just play that deck. Toss on Dredge in the career meta, despite my hate for it. It's probably pretty good. I would have a hard time imagining it's not pretty good even. Pretty delicate position. Kiki Joy for the 18 months, and congratulations. Kill them one ping at a time. Well, I'm down to do that, but we're in a really fragile board state here. It's maybe even better to like copy a construct token, and then like I can just send 3 lethal attackers at them next turn. But then the problem is they just keep the grief and attack me and kill me. Why do we hold a Bauble? My opponent has 2 Orcish Bowmasters in play, so if I correct the Bauble, it's pretty bad for me. Could you do Split, Inverter, and Shieldred? It's just tough to play that many 4-drops. I have to play Inverter, Shieldred, Ring. Shieldred's bad without Ring. If you're going to play Ring and another black 4-drop, it should be Shieldred. If you're going to play Inverter combo, you probably need 4 Inverters. There's just, you know... I guess you could play 10 4-drops, but that's a lot of 4-drops. Shieldred, like, not so good in your combo deck. Is attacking here not free with the construct? No, the problem with attacking with construct is they block it with Bowmaster, and then I'm dead. Because then I don't have a blocker for the 3/3. Yeah, we were dead to this push, even if they like let us go to blocks. They should have pushed first. So like I could have just gone to blocks and like played around the removal spell, but it's like you shouldn't make a play assuming that your opponent messed up. I think you should usually operate under the assumption your opponent is playing correctly, unless you're just gonna lose otherwise. Yeah, we can still draw for a burn spell. And I guess we can draw with the blood tokens too. We can respond to the Bowmaster triggers. So we have a few looks actually. We have one more look. Okay. They do have a card in their hand. This is a stack, dude. This is a stack. Let's go! What a fucking game, dude. Oh, wow. That was awesome. And those are the good games of Magic, I think. That's why we play. Was that not tweet-worthy? Not really. I think it's kind of, if you just take a picture of that without watching it in context, you probably, like, can't really figure out what's going on. Watery Grave, untapped, go. There's probably an argument for playing Epicure first, but the problem is I like really want to crack the Bauble before they can Bowmaster, which I think makes sense just to play the Epicure. I am very surprised that they're using Subtlety on this. What the hell? They even pitched Archmage's Charm, which can just steal this. Oh, it's because they have stupid Essence Lux. I guess we'll keep it on top. Also, why do people... Why my opponent is in black. Why are you playing Essence Flux? Play the other scam cards. Is it because this flickers Bowmaster for a ping? It's gotta be worse than the counter. The counter is such a big deal. And they have like up to 1 land hand. Sure, let's keep that. Yeah, better with spirits. They probably play both. Looks like they play both. But no, so playing both isn't a thing. There's eight, you can play 8 of this effect. Maybe it's like a blue card count thing too. Can flex. Yeah, I guess flexing a subtlety that's already in play can be good too sometimes. Cause is it what? So if I discard the Urza Saga to my Epicure, I have Delirium. I think I should just play it though. Yeah, they won 16 scam effects. For the PT, I was testing for a little bit 8 scam effects, no Ragavan. I kind of liked it, honestly. Is red still the best color in Modern? I think so, but it's like a conversation now. Okay, just playing around Bowmaster. I know we're at the beginning of spoiler season. What cards have spoiled my eye? Beseech the Mirror seems good. Yeah, Beseech the Mirror seems good. It seems good, but it's also like you have to sack a permanent for it to do anything, which is an incredibly significant cost. I have a hard time imagining that it's really going to be like a huge deal. Like it's very, very restrictive to be able to do that. But that's definitely a card I'm really excited to play with and try. Only in coffers. I've seen people say that you want to play that card in coffers. How do you play it in coffers? Like what are you sacrificing to like allow that card to do anything in coffers? Seth had a scam version with only 2 Ragavan board. Yeah, that was the deck. Like I was basically testing Seth's list when Seth was on the team. Sack Orc Army, Relic Orc Army. Yeah, like I don't know. Like these kind of like sack a permanent like spells are very costly. Like, and you're not gonna like sacking a relic to do this. Like, it is like a pretty serious 2-for-1 to spend 4 mana to cast a 4 mana spell. You can also just like spend 4 mana on something. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's not that exciting. It's not terrible, but it's not that exciting. The bottom this, I think, is about to be a 4/4. Sure. Yeah, I think Seth was playing 7 scam cards, like 6 regular ones, 1 Maliki Rebirth. I can't remember if he ended up registering. I can't remember if he cut the Rebirth for another scam card. I remember trying to talk him into it. Thoughts on holding that DRC? I feel okay about jamming it. Yeah, I know that they spoiled a new Undying effect. The immediate new modern staple. That was a cool match. Cool match. 3-2 this league. Not the most exciting, but glad to kind of finally get the... We've been talking about this build for a long time, so I'm glad to have gotten a league in with it. So I have a few more decks prepped. Trying to think. Yeah, we were just talking about the 4 mana Brack brings light. I mean, sacking a permanent as part of the cost is a huge thing. Like you probably need to be playing like Stitcher Supplier or Blood.